Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Hello everyone and welcome to the season opener for the iRacing Israel League. I'm your host, Ron Mons, and joining me in the commentary booth, as he will for a majority of the races this year, is Aaron Smith, with Luis Araya in the production booth. We are here, racing in USF2000 cars here at the glorious, as some may call glorious, some may call it a dumpster if you're a fan of F1 tracks, USA International Speedway, this plucky short track in Middle Florida. It'll be an interesting race for these drivers. What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, I think season opener, people have got nothing to lose, and especially with the short heat formats that we have tonight, I definitely think that some people are going to be sending it into every single little crevice that they can. And as we were talking about just before we went live, we're definitely going to have a few cars ending up in the wall.
Yeah, I think we're going to need some elbow pads for this race, because they're definitely going to get their elbows out for this race. As we see, cars on track. That is... Oh boy. I am very bad pronunciation. You give it a go, Aaron.
Amir Mushlam going for a fairly decent first lap. He currently leads the pack away. But, oh my god, Dmitry Shirokov getting a fairly good lap in there. This is the thing about ovals, especially short ovals in these higher downforce cars. You got to be really, really on it. You got to be concentrating so hard to scrape like at the tiniest bit of time out of these cars. And I guess that's why some people really do enjoy this, because unlike, say, road racing or even bigger ovals, where you can kind of sit back and maybe relax a bit down some of the straights, around a short oval like this, you got to be on it all the time. As we see, Alon Day going on to provisional pole at the moment, currently 700s ahead of anyone else. But these guys will be getting faster and faster as the time ticks down. But yeah, this is going to be a treat to watch.
We currently have Alon Day up the front. You know, I think he's my pick to win. For those who follow the Euro NASCAR series, his name, very close. I think he hit the wall there. His car's not going to be very happy with him. Happy with really there. So, I was mentioning Alon Day earlier. He's currently our provisional pole sitter as we stand at the moment. He's a four-time NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series champion. Has a lot of experience racing on the ovals in those stock cars, but that's a pretty big departure going from a stock car to a USF2000 car. But He has the oval experience. It looks like it's paying off for him well. He has the highest I rating of everyone here currently, an I rating of about, 5,300. A lot of these drivers, I rating below 2,000, so I think he's fairly clear of a lot of the competitors, but still going to be very close. You gotta be picture perfect here.
Yeah, and 100% Alan Day has got the edge over the field, both in terms of experience and possibly speed. But that's going to bring pretty much a close to qualifying as everyone has completed their laps. And Alan Day really showing why he is on top, as we've got just a few more drivers towards the bottom just finishing up their laps. As we see Oran Kadar just finishing his lap about half a second off of pole, which round here you got to say is a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking before the broadcast started about how us, as having only really commentated on road course races, it'll be difficult for us not to call out side by side because, I mean, with how close this field is, the field only being separated by a little over a second, I think they're going to be side by side a lot, but at the same time, it's kind of a one groove track this. I think overtaking, it's certainly going to be possible, especially if there's a driver ahead that hits the wall or makes any kind of mistake. Yeah, I think the field's going to be very tight. It'll be like a pseudo NASCAR super speedway race where the whole field is bunched up. So, I mean, if you make even the slightest mistake, you're going to be out of line quite bad. It'll look like our Spec Racer Ford races, our friends also at Apex Racing TV. Whenever their races go on, it'll be like 10 cars within about a second and a half at times. I think it'll look a lot like that today.
Yeah, definitely. And as we were just talking about Alan Day, I think not only has he got that little bit of experience on the field, just that experience comes with consistency. And around a track like this, consistency is going to be key. As yeah, you might have been able to set 1 or 2 quick laps during qualifying or practice, but if you can do those laps that Alan Day is doing every single lap, you're just going to pull away from the field. As slipstream round a short oval like this isn't going to be too effective, but right up close to your opponent, it could be that little boost that you need. And I think as well, I was just thinking, how are we going to predict the big one in this race? Who's going to start it? How many cars are going to be involved? And well, that's about qualifying wrapped up. And yeah, this should be an exciting start to the season.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have one heck of a race in store for us today. 22 car field, only 20 started. Here's a look at the grid. Alan Day, as we talked about, he is, I guess we're not, oh, okay, there we go. Alan Day, as we were talking about earlier, on the pole with Dmitry Shikarov currently in second. We have Isyan Baba currently in third. Sheeran Connor will start in fourth with Nadav Yarin in fifth. Amir Meshalem, I'm really going to have to apologize to all these drivers after this broadcast, in sixth. Bertie Galili in seventh. Oh no. Eviram Papushado, I'm really sorry, I feel like I should stop. Reem Gross in ninth. And Yoshi Gabi rounding out your top 10. As we look through the rest of our grid, the top 10 separated by a little less than 0.3 of a second. Really close field. I know we were kind of tuning the horn for Alan Day earlier, but I think it's going to be a very close field. Mark Zubarev in 11th. Ty Stern currently in 12th position. We have Michael Simon in 13th. Rilly Tazur in 14th. Mir Hasid in 15th, sharing that row with Aiden Schur. We have Oran Ketter in 17th, as we see the cars rolling. Arthur Albert in 18th. Benny Sorkett in 19th. Tomer Ventura in 20th. Ethan Oring, the only American in the field, in 21st. And Arnon Levy rounding out your field today. We see the cars rolling. Yeah, I think... Any last-minute predictions for this?
Well, I think we're going to have a big incident on lap 1. My predictions as I was saying just at the start of this broadcast, it's a new season. People are going to have their minds reset and gears ready to go. as all of these drivers just anxiously waiting for the start. And as a driver, anyone watching this, and myself included, you can just feel the adrenaline building with these guys as they follow that pace car so slowly around this track, and they're just building all of that adrenaline up and waiting to let it all loose on lap 1. And whether people have a calm approach or, like I said before, just absolutely send it, you know, we're going to find out, as we've only got a little bit left to wait. And I'm sure everyone at home is just as anxious as we are to see how these guys get off to the season.
Here we go. Coming around the final corner, we take the green flag. That is Alan Day pulling a significant gap already. Not too big, as we see going through. Oh, bit of an incident there.
Oh, 2 cars off in the back.
Yeah, oh boy, that is debris scattered all over the place as a crash coming out of the first series of corners they were coming out of 2. Saw debris flying there. I think that's probably about like 4 or maybe 5 cars involved already, as we can see, yeah. 4 cars in the pits already, 6 cars in the pit lane. We're gonna get a replay following Nadav Yaron. Oh, he just got loose there. Oh, I think he might have hit a bump slightly, and oh boy. If anyone ever wants to know why F1 has a halo, ooh, saw big contact there, cars scattering all over the place. Anyone ever want to know why most open wheel series nowadays have a halo or some kind of cockpit protection? That's why he rammed over that car. Yeah, good thing we're racing virtually and not in real life, because that would have been a nasty incident.
Yeah, I did predict there was going to be a big one on lap 1, as those tensions were rising and people just maybe not paying attention as much as they should have. Maybe the dirty air catching them out as well. Maybe the cold tires, brakes, etc. just getting the better of them, as that was about 5 or 6 cars that were involved in that. And yeah, we've already got a lot of cars either a lap down or come out of the race completely. But we've still got a fairly lengthy heat to go. We're only about a minute and a half in, and we've still got action up and down the grid, as this is the battle for 9th place. As we're watching Aiden Scher trying to defend from Arthur Elbert behind, and also trying to pip a move on Ivor Pippa Shadow in front. And look at this, it's already close racing, and that's the battle for 8th up ahead. They're only separated by, well, nothing at the moment. They're going side by side into this last corner, and Meshalem just losing out there. And Papa Shadow getting a good move up into 8th. He seems to have some decent paces. He's already starting to pull away from this little group behind. And we'll see what he can do for the rest of the race.
Yeah, we really saw Meshalem get held out to dry there. You saw him, he was stuck on the outside going through turns 1 and 2. Was able to get the switchback move. I think he tried to go for the inside. I don't think the move worked. He's still in 10th, but battles up and down the field. You know, you mentioned dirty air earlier. I was going to mention this. You know, the slipstream may not have too much of an effect with how short these straightaways are. With how relatively flat some of these corners are, at least compared to most ovals in America, at least compared to Daytona for sure. I think, as we see nearly past there, I think dirty air is going to play a big effect there. We saw Amir Hased get out of the throttle there slightly. I think he hit the apron there, got a little bit loose, so can't really do that. That would not, Ricard would not very like that, especially after it hits the wall. Yeah,
these, it might be a heat format at the moment, but it's still a fairly long heat, 22 minutes. A lot shorter than some of the other heats that we run here on Apex Racing TV, for example, the F4s. They only have about 10 minutes of heats, but these guys treating it very, very aggressively. As well, this is the battle for 14th and 13th at the moment. Galili getting a good opportunity into that first turn. And now, yeah, he might be ahead, but now he's got the pressure of all these guys behind him. And as you were saying, yeah, he has the dirty air on his advantage, but yeah, he's gonna have to do some defending over the next few laps. But this is Alan Day then really putting the rest of the field in their place, as he is pulling out a extensive gap at the moment of 2.5 seconds currently coming back up to lap some of the people towards the back of the field. And I must say, number 42, I rep the man, you know, it's my favourite number as well. So you know who I'm supporting this season.
There you go. No, I was going to raise just a quick little point about Ventura as we see an overtake there for 7th. I was going to raise a quick... Whoa, boy.
That's a big crash. I think that was, that was Zubrev. I think he was up there in 4th. And he's had some coming together. We're going to take a look at a replay of what happened.
Someone must have gotten pinched. Someone must have gotten pinched against the outside wall. Are we going to see it? Yep.
Oh.
Just ran wide there and put Stern in the wall and then... Oh, boy.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time, that.
Wrong place, wrong time for really all of them. So that's a tough break for those 3 drivers. You know, it's just... And we were saying earlier, there's not really a lot of room to run. You know, usually on a road course, if there's some kind of calamity going on, you can just go to the runoff. But here, don't really have anywhere to go. If there's a slow driver or someone that just gets a little bit tight coming out of the corner, starts skating up the road. I was going to say that Ventura looked tight earlier, nearly had an accident a couple laps ago. Yeah, that one thing I think will play a big role in this race is, I mean, this isn't a very short heat race. I think the way these cars are going to handle towards the end of this is going to be wicked compared to the way they're handling at the start. It'll be a real test of these drivers' skills trying to adapt to the track, improving to their cars, really regressing in terms of grip. I think we're probably going to see more accidents like that, where it's just cars skating wide, maybe hitting the wall, maybe collecting another car. I think it's going to be a great test for these drivers as these cars move. Alan Day coming across some lap traffic here. He's going to be held up a bit. Oh, you can see that gap decreasing between Alan Day and Baba currently in 2nd as these 2 lap cars battle. Oh, I think he'll be a bit annoyed. Enter this. Well, this time last lap he was at about a 2.5 second gap right now. He's closer to 2 seconds. Dips below 2 seconds there. Where really Day, you know, has a lot of racing experience, but dealing with the dirty air, dealing with the lap traffic, and just having trust in your competitors in the first race of the year. I mean, we saw him get by the 1 car, but still has more traffic to clear, and this is going to become more of a problem as the field spreads out.
Yeah, I think Day is going to be fairly frustrated, having lost, well, about 0.6 of a second on those few laps that he was stuck behind those guys. But as we know, in oval racing, you aren't obliged to move out of the way during blue flags, which, you know, if you're coming from road racing and watching these races, you might think, oh, they should move out of the way, but, you know, you're not obliged to. It's not mandatory, it's just advisory, which, you know, some people have controversial opinions about, but, you know, it's the rules. You have every right to, you know, I mean, I guess not move out of the way of your opponent coming through, but, I mean, most people, it's sort of an unwritten rule in racing that you just do, maybe give them an easier time, as it might end in tears for both of you if you're not careful. But these guys, you know, this is the trouble with such short ovals like this. It's going to get really, really tight with your opponents around you, who you may or may not know. Like that, everyone getting too close for comfort there.
Yeah, I believe that was Baba drifting up the track and nearly being involved in an accident there. You know, just as Day was pretty ticked off with the lap traffic, Baba is now having to deal with it. So gap is closing between him and Shirokov, currently running in 3rd. That could have been disastrous for him. You know, 3 cars, 3 wide here. Oh, that is very tight between those 2. Oh, at the top, and there's contact. Boy.
I think that was Hesed, maybe, in that battle.
I think that was Ventura and Hesed, yeah. They're dropping back like a rock. That's tough for them. I can imagine Baba, I
can't imagine his heart rate.
The car on the inside, I'm not sure who the car was on the inside in that whole deal, but if I were him, I'd be buying a lottery ticket after this because let's see a replay of that. I think that was just too close for comfort there. 3 wide. There's not a lot of room to work with. Yeah. It's a closing down and, oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a big crash.
that was very close that was very close to being a 3-car accident there, but no, I mentioned it earlier, it's just a mix of cars trying to battle hard, trying to have bragging rights to say like, hey, I finished 7th in the season opener, trying to carry some momentum from the start of the year through the rest of this season, and that's just some aggressive racing, not really having much room to work with, and maybe some ill-handling cars.
Yeah, I think some of these people in this race maybe getting a bit too aggressive. As we have said this, it's a fairly long heat, right? So you want to be a bit cautious than you would in otherwise a much shorter heat. As I think a lot of these guys are just losing a bunch of time fighting and trying to get ahead of one another, and possibly causing a big accident like we've seen a few times in this race already. And we're only about 10 minutes in. And I think some of these people, especially in the midfield, do just need to calm down a little bit and just get on with the race at hand, as you've still got opportunities later in the day to get those positions that you really want. As even now, getting through lap traffic, some people making it a bit more difficult than it needs to be, as Shikarov really getting really close to those lap cars, as we saw a few laps ago. As Ron said, counting his lucky stars that he wasn't involved in that crash. And yeah, all of these guys really spreading out now, and the closest battle we have on track is the one you're watching right now.
Yeah, I mean, you raised a point, like, we're so early into this race, and I believe up to 10th is how many cars we have a lap down, so field spread out a bit. There's some close battles here and there, but I mean, it's just a lot of these drivers, like, if it were me, I would say probably just work together, keep your car clean, and then have a push towards the end. Some of these drivers may be using up some of their stuff. They may be screwed later in this race. We're about halfway through. Oh boy, I was about to say, one car nearly in the wall. That was contact there for the number 60 car of Avriam Pushado. Sorry. Well, thank you, Luis, for correcting me for my hick pronunciation there. Well, as the disheveled pauper I am, I've never been very good at pronunciations. That's why my English teachers always kept me separated from the rest of the kids in school. Oh, it's a good thing he has push in his name, because he was having a real big push coming out of that turn. Really understeered there. And, yeah. I mean, I was mentioning ill-handling cars. If it were up to me, I would just say take it easy for now, keep your car under you, and then just have an assault towards the finish as a lot of these guys drop back.
Yeah, Purple Shadow at the moment seems to have the superior pace on it. and actually was trying to sneak a nose up the inside. And that's the most difficult part about this sort of short-term racing on these short ovals, is just trying to get a nose up the inside of your rival. And you just have to wait for a moment like that, as Canna gets a very bad exit off of turn 2. As we go into 3 now, Purple Shadow going to dive up the inside. He's going to get a worse exit than Canna, who is on the outside line, getting a bit of a push. And these guys are definitely going to be going side by side for a while. But Purple Shadow seems to have the edge at the moment. Just got one corner to go until I think he can wrap this move up. And yes, I believe he is now fully ahead of Canna. And that was some good clean battling between these two. And that's what you love to see.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to see guys being and banging the heck at each other. I mean, we are racing on oval, but it ain't NASCAR, so we don't want to see people beating the crap out of each other. So very clean racing there. I think Pupashado may have gotten that move done. Ooh, very up the track there for Canner. Both of these guys are really dealing with understeer issues coming out of that last corner. We saw them both nearly hit the wall a couple laps ago. Pupashado actually did hit the wall, as he's now trying to deal with the lap traffic. He's going to get stuck on the outside. This may give Connor a chance to claw back some time here, as he's dealing with the lap traffic, going to the inside to try and deal with the 777 car there of Elishalam. So yeah, I think Pushado, I think he would have gotten that move done earlier if his car wasn't as understeery coming out of the corner, because he just had a terrible exit. coming out of 4 when he first tried to go for that move.
I think he also was suffering from a bit of dirty air from these lapped cars ahead, which definitely comes into effect, like, mainly on corner entry. And once you try to get the power down, like right about now, you know, this time Purple Shadow seems to have it nice and under control as he's trying to desperately get past Hased. I think Hased is just going to let him by now. I think I heard him let off and let him by. They're still going side by side. I think some of the lapped cars are making it a bit more difficult for these leaders than they would like. But nevertheless, Purple Shadow putting on a really, really good performance. He's up 4 places from where he started. But we're on white flag now as Alan Day comes around the final corner to win the first heat of the day by a long shot. And we've got a big, big battle here for second place. Only 2 tenths separating them as that was a big muddle.
No. Oh no, I just saw a cooldown lap accident in the corner. Yeah, we see cars against the wall. I was looking at that. I was like grinding my teeth down to the gums there, being like, oh no. So yeah, very dominant performance there from Alan Day. You know, we were saying how it's a lot of experience, and you know, we were saying that respect might come into effect with trusting your other competitors. You don't really have to deal with many of his competitors there. He was just, I mean, he was gone the second the green flag dropped. So as bad as I butchered the starting grid, Aaron, would you like to give it a shot?
Well, nevertheless, I think we've got, for this second heat, we have reversed top 10 with Arnon Levi then in first place. He's got a big opportunity. Arthur Elbert in second place alongside him. Adam Scher in third. Really Tazur in fourth. Michael Simon in fifth. Sharon Canner in sixth. Ivan Pupashado, who put on a brilliant performance last race, in seventh. Dmitry Shekarov in eighth. Tyson Baba in ninth. And Alan Day, your winner last time out, rounding out your top 10. We'll see what he can do from that position. Bertie Galili in 11th, Amir Hased in 12th, Amir Mushalem in 13th, Nadav Yaron in 14th, Yossi Gabay in 15th place, Reem Gross in 16th, Benny Sorek in 17th, Tamar Ventura in 18th, Mark Zabarev in 19th, Tal Stern 20th, Oren Kadar in 21st, and your last place man, Ethan Oring, in 22nd. And well, after a pretty interesting first heat run, what are your predictions now, knowing what we know?
Oh, I feel kind of bad that I said that Alan Day didn't have to deal with any of his competitors, because now, starting 10th, he's going to have to deal with them. So that'll be where I'm looking. You know, he put on such a dominant performance in the first heat that I think if he keeps his nose clean, stays out of any trouble, which you never know. I mean, we saw how chaotic it was. Well, calamitous, I think, would be a better word for the start of last race. If he just keeps his car clean and then just that's really it. Just keeping it clean. I think he has the speed. I think he has the confidence to bring that car to the front. It's all just about avoiding any accidents, and I think that's really the key for his race. Besides him, I think Pupashado, you know, I think he will probably be another one to watch, starting from the 7th position. I think that'll be... We'll have to see what kind of performance he can do. He showed a lot of speed in the first heat. If he shows any smidgen of the speed he showed towards the end of that race, I think he'll be probably be Alan Day's biggest challenge as he tries to go through the field from the 10th position.
Yeah, definitely. As we just get ready to go green, and we are underway for this second race tonight. And wow, Levi getting an absolutely storming start. He already leads the field by around 0.7 of a second. That is a good start from him. Now we'll see if he can keep it. But so far, we've got some good, clean racing. I've jinxed it. There's a crash in the background. I open my mouth and someone crashes. I'm used to this. And I think it was, yes, Michael Simon who got involved in that crash. We're going to get a little bit of a replay on what happened to the 999 car coming towards the end of the first lap, I think. Oh, yeah, he just got a tap.
Oh, yeah. Just close racing there. Just inches separate these guys at times, especially on these very, very short tracks, very fast tracks, too. I was just, you know, too close for comfort there, and obviously did not end well for him. Certainly didn't end well for Pupachado. He got checked up quite bad in that accident. You know, he's started 7th, now down in 10th as we see Day in 7th. Oh, boy.
Shikarov off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were talking about keeping his nose clean and just maybe a bit of desperation there at the start. And we see another car around.
That was our leader.
Oh,
that was Levi off.
That's a shame. I guess, you know, what I think might have happened there was he might have gone onto the apron and just lost it coming out of the turn. It seems like the apron is like so close in banking compared to the actual corners, especially on exits. You kind of want to take a little bit as we see a replay of what happened to him.
But
just loose on entry, and oh man.
He just took too much speed into that corner.
Yeah, just too much speed. I think he might have hit
Alan Day's in the pits.
Alan Day in the pits, yeah. I mean, we were talking about him keeping his nose clean, and clearly not do that there. I think he might have collected a bit of that accident that we just saw with Levi, so I think he's out of contention. I mean, he's a lap down now, so unless he can pull a miracle so far in this heat, I think that may be Tazur and Elbit's race to lose. They're currently 2 tenths apart, well, 2.5 tenths apart. Closing in slightly on the straightaways. There's an accident
big crash
there.
Up ahead.
I think Elbert kind of got screwed over there. He went for the outside. That was that did not go over well for him.
This is Michelin's chance.
Yeah. He got a good run there. He didn't get involved in any of the accidents there. Manages to take the lead coming through the final few corners, so yeah.
It's crazy what a reverse top 10 grid can do for a race. As last race, it was very much a domineering performance by the top guys, and now we're seeing a lot of them struggle. A lot of them making desperate moves, like Alan we saw last time, going for a desperate move, made contact, and then also getting caught out with an accident with Levi as well. And yeah, I still think this race, it's gonna spice up. And I think Pupachado still has a decent chance in this race.
Fourth, he's made a pretty good comeback. We didn't really pay attention to him now, and I guess because of all the carnage happening up ahead of him, he's managed to pluck his way through the field, currently in 4th. I mean, with Day currently a lap down and really, I'd say, out of contention unless something major happens, I think Pupachado might be the favorite to win this race if he can pluck his way through the field and just show even a smidgen of pace that he showed in the first race. I think he might be in very good condition. What do you think?
I got to agree that he really did show his good ability last race to get those overtakes done, and that was Galili, I think, getting way too close for comfort with the wall. I'm not sure if he has damage or not. But Gabay then using that opportunity to sneak past, and this is giving a good chance for Pupachado to pull away from these guys and try and catch up, but he's getting caught out by lap traffic.
Yeah.
He lost a bunch of time there. I'm not sure what car that is. That's the 73, just getting in the way of these guys, and that cost Pupachado about 3-4 tenths of a second.
Yeah, I mean, just as we were talking about him trying to pull away, he got caught out by the lap traffic there. I think he got really tight coming out of the corner and just nearly hit him coming out of 1. So now he's going to be challenged by Gabay. We saw him battling with Galili earlier when he had his big moment coming out of the turn. I don't think he hit the wall. Otherwise, I would say he left some skid marks on the wall and probably in his pants as well from being that sideways coming out of the turn. But yeah, Pupachado, it looks like he's... Actually, I say it looks like he's pulling away. I think Gabay is holding his own there, currently in 5th. Trying to keep up with Pupachado. And, I mean, I think the gaps are remaining pretty steady here as we see a battle for 8th place between Ventura. I believe that might be a lapped car in there.
No, there is. This is the battle for 7th. He's battling with Hased.
Yep.
And
no need for saying that. That's a mistake on my end. And it looked like he was... They got the move done there, but they're starting to spread out a little bit. Whole field's spreading out, really. This is the closest battle on track. Actually, I think there might be a battle going on for 4th as we see Bay close the gap there to Pupachado. I guess going down that straightaway, I guess Pupachado has his car trimmed out to be well in the corners, but I think Gabay has a very fast car in the straight line. As we see him, he might go for a move there. Not close enough. Maybe next lap, though. I think if he's maintains this gap, he might go for it into turn 3. Nope, he is not close enough. As we see Gallet, he might be a perfect cameraman for this battle here. Is he gonna go for it there? No, just not close enough. I think Gabay needs to hold his own, just try and pull closer, and maybe if he's a bit closer to Pupashado in a couple of laps, I think he will. I think he might have a good shot of taking 4th. You know, we were saying that Pupashado might be the man to watch here, but Gabay showing very good speed right now.
I think, oh, that's Pupashado getting very, very close to the wall, and this is going to give Gabay the chance that he needed. He's got that inside line. He's just about just creeping ahead.
Pupashado's going to have the run. He had the momentum coming out of the final corner, but Gabay has the inside line. That's very close between those two. Pupashado's car is really handling bad in this part of the race. I mean, we just saw him understeer into the wall there. Hopefully he doesn't do it this time. Ooh, that's very close mid-corner there, but I think it's a bit of a game of cat and mouse here, because Pupashado, as we see him finally clear Gabay after a couple laps of side-by-side action. Gabay had the inside line, but Pupashado just had the run coming out of the corner, so he could get it on the straightaways. We see Gabay nearly go for a move there, going into 3, just wasn't close enough. I don't know, maybe Pupashado has another incident, skates wide, and maybe that'll be Gabay's shot. He'll really have to take advantage of that, because otherwise I think Pupashado's car's on rails.
Well, with the... I was going to say this before Pupashado nearly bent it into the wall, and this is a good chance for Galili as Gabay gets it very, very wrong coming out of the last corner. But I like as well how this short oval racing produces very, very different lines from these drivers. As Pupashado seems to take a more V line compared to these other guys. He takes a very wide line through the entry corner, and then on the exit absolutely guns it. And he tries to get a good exit out of every corner, but as you've seen sometimes in this race, he gets too close for comfort to that wall. And I think overall, his way is quicker, but it's a lot more risky. As we've seen Gabay take a pretty much the opposite line as he tries to get a good entry. And then, yeah, as you can see, he's taking a lot tighter line into that corner. And then Pupashado kind of just tries to take it out wide, get a good exit. But that time,
go for it. Oh,
yep,
nearly.
Didn't get the exit that he wanted.
The notes there. Oh, he hit the apron there slightly. That won't do him any favors coming out of the exit of 4. Pashado's going to have to run. Gabay just hitting that apron there, you know, hitting there again. I think he's running a far more aggressive line, far closer to the yellow line than Pupashado. You know, you can see with Pupashado, he's running probably like a foot and a half, maybe 2 feet farther from the apex, well, farther from the apron. Gabay is, but I mean, I think both lines have their pros and cons. As we see Pupashado, ooh, Gabay closed on him slightly. Gabay might go for the outside here. Ooh, just not close enough. I think that probably would have been an ill-advised overtake if he did go for that.
And also, oh, he actually might have an opportunity
the overtake.
here.
Ooh, I think I saw him get a little bit loose on the braking, but I think it'll work. I got like half a sip of water in my mouth while that overtake was going on. I know my mother probably would not be very happy with me talking with a mouthful of water, but no, we are racing here. It's some very close racing here between Pupashado and Gabay for 4th. They've been going at it for a while. This is really the highlight.
The lap car's going to make this awkward.
Lapped cars involved. Yeah, they'll go 3 wide, nearly 4 wide going into there. That's a 73 in the wall. And
there's Galili's chance.
Damaged. Oh, that Galili. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, that's going to be very close there. That is close. That's nearly contact. And it is. Oh, no. And then... Oh.
That's Hased who also got involved. That is so unfortunate. You could see that from a mile off.
Oh no!
And that
was nearly another car involved. Oh god.
That's all 3 of their races in the bent. We're gonna have a look at what actually happened. I think Galili was just a bit too optimistic trying to go 3 wide, and then Gabay tries to leave him room, And then, they all make contact.
That
and
was an accordion effect. I think, as said, really just an innocent victim there. I think, can't really say that any of them were at fault, because I think they all did something strange. You know, it's usually common courtesy in open wheel racing that the last car to go into the corner 3 wide is usually the first to back out, but Galili, he saw an opportunity there, he went for it, and clearly didn't pay off. He kind of scared Gabe a little bit because he ran a little wide coming through the corner, wider than he's ever done so far in this race, and that definitely scared him, and then just accordion effect going into each other and taking them all out of the race.
Yeah, there's a further incident. I think that Alan Day was involved in that. As I was literally just about to say that Alan Day was making good progress. He was up there in 6th.
Yeah,
but
I think his day is I think he's at crossroads now. I think he's
out of the race.
Back. He is done for. So our pick entering this race, not having very good heat too.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the novelty with these reverse top 10 starting grids. It's just never know what can happen just mixing up the field slightly. Maybe that's why F2 is a lot more interesting to watch than F1 at times, as we see leader for a majority of this race, Michelin, just 3 seconds ahead of our second place runner, Tazur, and I think he's just had basically a Sunday cruise up at the front. He hasn't run into too many issues. You know, he obviously had to take the lead for himself, but just moving along nicely here. I think the race would have been a lot different if Day managed to keep his nose clean, but as we saw, multiple incidents. I think he might have been involved in like 3 incidents in his time in the race. Obviously, not the way he wanted to end his night here in the iRacing Israel League here on Apex Racing TV. But field spreading out as we pluck the laps down. There's Zor, and yeah, just right now it's the drivers see the chaos going on. We saw that 4-way accident there where Galili, he's still in 4th. He escaped out with basically nothing. He pulled like a bump and run on the both of them. I don't even know if it's possible to do a bump and run in a USF2000 car, but he managed to get away with that with, well, he probably has some kind of damage, but he managed to get away with that a lot better than the other 2, so yeah, it's just, at this point, very wide there, running an interesting line. He's been running wide all race. I think he's trying to carry a lot of speed through the corners. Yeah, at this point, it's just all about hitting your marks, trying to keep your car clean. Don't do any very optimistic or very, forgive me for saying that, some of the drivers very stupid moves at times, but it's just, you gotta keep your car clean, and right now with the way this race is going, you're setting yourself up for a decent finish if you just keep your nose clean.
Yeah, I think only the top 5 currently are on the lead lap. And yeah, well, as a result of the incidents that we've had throughout the race, there isn't really any close battling going on at all. And yeah, everyone at this point, I guess their goal now is just to cruise to the finish. And yeah, they're just try and get through lap traffic as cleanly as possible. And yeah, we'll see if we get any more action. But Baba and Michael Simon actually getting very, very close to each other. As I was just talking about no one being close, they started to get close.
Canner nearly went 3 wide there. That would not have been a very smart move from him, going 3 wide, trying to split the middle. Going through the corner, we see a bunch of cars kind of battling, a mix of cars on the lead lap or close to the lead lap, and just slower cars. Purpashado, white flag this time. Well, yeah, we are on the last lap. So it looks like Michelin is going to take
They're
a
getting so
very
close.
comfortable victory.
Back for 9th.
As long as there's not an accident here and he gets involved, I think this is going to be... I think he's got it.
There's a big
final
crash.
corner. Oh, boy.
Woo.
I think that was Pupashado there, and as Mir Michelin in the 777 car takes a victory, pretty dominant performance from him.
Yeah, there's a big crash on the final lap. That's Ventura. I think he was all by himself as well. He's going to have to limp it across the line. But actually, I think he'll be fine, actually, because he was a lap ahead of anyone else. And yeah, this is Pupashado getting very, very close. And just
Pupashado, that was...
Yeah, just gives him a nudge.
I don't think that was a nudge. That wasn't a nudge. That was a rub. That was a hit there. That wasn't even a bump. That I think it was a mix of Ventura got a bit tight coming out of that turn and had to check up, and just put Pashado no place to go and rear-ended him and sent Ventura into the wall. Very interesting weight loss strategy there.
That's one way of putting it.
As we can see, finishers of this race, tough break for Alan Day, ends up 13 laps down, involved in multiple incidents throughout this second race. Dominant performance from Mechelem, and yeah, barely any cars on the lead lap. So, as you said, top 5 in the lead lap, and after that, it's just total anarchy with lapped cars, guys at the front trying to cut their way through, and just very interesting race there. I think it was probably more interesting than race number 2, mainly because, I mean, we still had a dominant performance, but just a lot of action there.
Well, yeah, Ventura then, I mean, even though he had that last lap crash, he still finished 5th, which, just tells you everything you need to know. And he was our biggest mover as well, up 13 places. And alongside Mechelem, who was up 12, those two put on a fantastic performance today. But yeah, Mechelem coming away with the win, pretty, I'd say just a consistent performance by him. He just stayed out of everyone's way. And yeah, just had a really good feature race. Congratulations to him. And really Desor also having a fairly quiet race, up a few spots in second. Arthur Elbert would rather hope he would have won this race, but I think a 3rd place, he can still be happy with that. Bertie Galili in 4th after that controversial crash with Pupa Shadow. And Gabe, I think he might be kicking himself after that one. Ventura as well, very good performance by him. And then Nadav Yaron, Sharon Kana, and Amos has said in 8th. And everyone else as well, just getting more and more laps down. This really was a chaotic race. Dmitry Shirokov in 9th, Pupa Shadow in 10th, Levi in 11th, Michael Simon in 12th, Faber in 13th, Gabe in 14th, Surak in 15th, Gadar in 16th, Alan Day in 17th place. Very disappointing race from him. Alan Scher in 18th. And then your final few cars who I don't actually think took to the grid. I think Stern did, but everyone else, I think, didn't even take to the grid. But yeah, Stern in 19th.
I think Ethan Oring just missed out, just skipped out on the other 2 races. I didn't see him on track in the first race, and obviously 45 laps down in this race, so obviously didn't take the track again. So, I don't know, maybe don't want to deal with the lag issues from racing against people from thousands of miles away. I can't really blame him, but yeah, so there's your results from this race. Oh,
we do have an
also
we do have we do have time for an interview with our feature race winner, and I'm gonna do the honors for this one because I can. And well, here is your race winner then for the feature race. Mechelem, how are you feeling after that absolutely incredible race?
Hey guys, how are you guys doing? I'm feeling great, actually. Feeling great. It was great to be back to the league after one season absent. Starting with Oval, that was a little weird. But beside that, it was a great second race. First one wasn't that great, as got hit from the behind in the very early stage. But that's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, in that second race, I think you just put on a really good, consistent performance compared to the rest of the grid and came away with the victory. And do you think you're going to be able to take this momentum into next week as well, or the next race?
I really, really hope, but you got to remember this league is very, very hard on a course, on a road course. The driver here are absolutely crazy and great drivers. I was able to achieve, this is my first league race after participating in 9 seasons. So
I'd say it's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good start, but again, it's oval, so it's a different story. I mean, most of the second race was just passing people that were crushed, so it's not like a big thing. But I hope I will be able to take it. I really hope this year to achieve my first trophy ever in this league. We'll see how it goes.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, mate. And if you can put on performances like that for the rest of the season, I'm sure you've got a very, very good chance. But before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank?
Thank you guys for broadcasting this. I'm really waiting to finish this interview and go see the broadcast from the beginning again. And beside that, of course, to all the league organizer, to Tal Stern that doing so many efforts, and everyone else who's participating. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too, man. And that was your race winner for the feature race, putting on a stunning performance. And well, Ron, just before we round this off, I don't think we've got anyone else waiting for a interview. What are your final thoughts?
I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a way to start the season off for him. It just, I mean, it's really a one of a kind race. Just there's so many different things that play into a race at this track. Just trying to keep your nose clean, trying to avoid the accidents, trying to negotiate the lap traffic. Yeah, I think good way to start the year regardless, though. If you can survive this race, I think you can survive anything. So, very hectic race, especially that second one, but I think I say fairly clean. We had a couple accidents, but no real dirty driving from what we saw, which is always a good thing. Very clean overtakes, very good racing as well. So I think great way to kick the year off.
Yeah, definitely. And I did really enjoy that race. It was very chaotic. We had some close battling as well. And yeah, this should be an interesting season to say the least. But I think that's all we've got time for today. It doesn't look like anybody else is going to hop in for a chat. We're very sad because of that. But yeah, been a fantastic day for racing. And well, we're going to round it off here. And well, I've been Aaron Smith, joined by Ron Mons and Louis Soraya in the production booth. It's been a fantastic day. We hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.